The art scroll has much better pictures than we have over here, but they're more like three-dimensional pictures to understand. But just briefly, before we go to their pictures, let's go back over here to the Tzudas Habayis. I just want to show you what we've been learning about. You notice we learned before. There's the Harabayis. We're not learning about that now. We're not talking about that. On the Harabayis stood the Beis Hamikdash. The Beis Hamikdash had sections to it. One section was known as the Heichal, which was the Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Kodesh, and the Ulam. Then there's the Azoros. So there's an Ezra's Kahanim and an Ezra's Yisrael and an Ezra's Noshim. That's basically the picture over here. But that doesn't really tell you the whole picture. Now we learned that this center over here, that's what we learned till now. The center over here was 100 Amma. In other words, the Kodesh Kadoshim, the Kodesh and the Heichel stretched 100 Amma. We also learned that this way, this is Darim. The Mizbeach is over here, the Mizbeach wasn't Darim. So this is Darim and this is Safran. We also learned that from here to here is 70 Amma. So it's not exactly a square. It's 100 by 70. Now, if you notice the picture over here, so when it comes over here on the bottom to the Ulam, there's an extension on each side over here. There's a piece that extends on each side. That piece that extends on each side was an additional 15 Amma. So when we say that the length is 100 Amma, and so it's 100 by 70, but over here, with this piece over here, it's 100 width. What was in these two little boxes here? In these two little boxes, we'll learn soon as Shulchan Aruch, was the Beis HaChalafim, where they stored the Chalafim. So they need a lot of Chalafim, and the whole day they're shechting over there. So it's just like in a shachtos today, there's a place where they hold the Chalafim, some of the stones and other things that they need for the Chalafim. That was stored over here. Now, the picture is not very good. I mean, it's not really understandable. But if you notice around here, you'll see around here there's little boxes. And around here, these little boxes is not really a true picture. It means that these little boxes are representing the offices. In other words, in the thickness of the wall, there was a wall over here, a wall around the Kodesh and Kedoshim and the Kodesh. There was a wall that went around here. Then there was another exterior wall that went outside. And then there was another exterior wall that went all the way outside. So in this exterior wall over here, they had offices. And the picture doesn't really show it over here, but the offices consisted of 3 floors. And to understand it, look over here on this page. Look over here, you'll see these are showing you the offices. So you have over here three floors. But if you'll notice, there's in the middle one over here, you'll notice there's 3 over here, and the top one is 2. And the reason is because on the floors there were more offices on the lower floor than on the top floor. I don't know if there's more offices or it was divided into more offices, and the top floor could be the more offices were a little wider. That could be. No. Then around here, around the where the offices were, there's a wall, and that's like the exterior wall of the Heichal.
Yeah.
And then there's another little passage here. Before another wall, there's a passage. What is this passage over here? This passage over here is called the Saiviv. You know, it went around the whole area, or almost the whole area. We'll see later, almost the whole area. And there was like a way to use this passage to get around the exterior of the Kodesh Kodashim. If you,
But it's something like there's a space between the wall to the Kodesh Kodashim.
yeah. No, the wall.
If you look at
I'm
the top,
talking over here.
Yeah.
It says over here. It says
see what
it says
Kodesh
Lamed,
Kodashim?
it says Lametes in it. See, it says Lametes on both sides.
yes,
So Lametes on both sides. That was an empty space over here. Up on in order to get around, it was like a picture. Let's say a house. Okay. Today it's not so popular today because you have a different type of fire protection, but all these have fire escapes. The fire escape was always built on the outside of the house. So over here, this was a way to get around the whole Beis Hamikdash over here. Was through this area over here.
was another books with
Huh?
it's another guy would put some books about the Mikdash. No, it's there, okay, it's not.
I don't.
Kodesh Kodashim, it's not by the wall. It's not a space between Kodesh Kodashim.
You see over here. This picture. See over here. If you look over here, there's a picture. You see on this page, there's a picture where it says Yud Ches on the side of it,
Yes.
and you see Yitzia Ravid, Yitzia Ravid, Yitzia Ravid. What is that? Okay, so I'll tell you what that is. If you look over here, this is showing you one side of the wall of the let's say of the it's a finding of the northern side of the wall. Now, the northern side of the wall, you see over here is one floor.
Yeah.
Here's another floor. They're not showing you in this picture the breakdown on the floor. They're just showing you the 3 floors. Okay? If you'll notice, each floor is bigger, or the opening is, here there was a wall, and here there was a wall. Over here, it was a straight wall. Over here, the wall has indentations. In other words, the bottom wall went in more, and B'meila, so it left you less empty space for over. So showed that was 5 amas over here. Being that this was indented one, so the next floor was built on top of this here, and this became 6. And this floor, the wall went in one amma, and then they built on here the next floor. So this is what's shot over here when it says Yitzia and Ravid, and Yitzia and Ravid. That's what it means over here. And on this side, it says it's the outer wall. This is the outer wall. Now, over here, this is not a too good picture, but the over here in this picture over here, he shows you this wall over here. Now, I told you this was an empty space, and there was a way to get around the whole building. The question is, how do you get into the wall? So down over here in the corner, there was a little door here. And you went from this door, you went into here, and you were able, it's called Saiviv. Why is it called Saiviv? Because not that it was round. We're going to learn later that between the floors, to get from one floor to the other floor, there was what we call like a spiral staircase. You see sometimes in buildings when they want to save space, instead of going this way, they go this, and you keep walking up, so you save a lot of space that way. So Saiviv means around, not that the way the steps around, but because it went around the whole area over here is called Sefer. Now, over here, he shows you how the Sefer was in here. In this picture, you notice there's like a path in here. This path went around. It went from Mizrach all the way to Ma'ariv. And at Ma'ariv, it turned around, showing this here. And it went over here till the middle. Didn't go all the way. That'll explain what. But it went here till the middle. Now, find it. I have a picture also of the here is a picture of what the floors look like, and all these compartments are the compartments that were on each floor. And you notice over here, it shows you that there were 3 on this floor, three, and here there was 2. Okay. All right, so let's on this wall, in other words. On the other walls there was 5 total. Okay. Now that you got a little bit an idea of what it's about, now we'll look inside, and it'll be easier to understand it. Again, I said we're up to halacha test. Halacha test starts by saying ha'hechol haya binyanei rochav milfonav v'tzar me'achayrev k'mayari. That means that this. He's talking now the hechol. Again, hechol means kodesh kodashim, kodesh and ulam. So he says the hechol. We said before that it was 100 by 70, right? But he's saying now, no, it wasn't really 100 by 70, because in the front it was really more than 70. You had the 2 sides that I told you, the Beis HaChalafim. So it was more than 70. So B'melis, he's saying that the Heichel was Rachav, it was wider in the front, and it came narrower in the top. So he says that a Heichel, Hoya Binyanai, the construction of the Heichel was Rachav Milfonov, it was wide in the front, V'tzar Me'achayrav, Kamayari, like a lion. A lion is, the build of a lion is that he's broad-shouldered in the front, and his body narrows down towards the end. Over here he doesn't say why Ari, but in the Mishnahs they bring up a pasuk benegay that where it talks about the Beis Hamikdash, a connection with a lion. V'yitziyim hoy makifin lebayis kulei. There were, yitziyim means like floors. There were like floors around the whole bayis. Misaviv chutz lekaiso hamasiba. Out of besides the kaiso hamasiba is what I told you, that exterior wall, that like the second in the picture, that goes the masiba. That the masiba is the surrounding wall or the surrounding passageway. And he says as follows: v'yitzia tachtaina. In other words, the lower level was chamesh amas. It was 5 amas in the wall. However, v'rayva agaba sheish. On top of the 5, there was like a a porch like or something like that was 6. Now, how do you make 6 on top of 5? To make 6 on top of 5, you have to have
Stick it.
that you need what this will hold on. So this wall, this is the exterior wall. So this wall was indented, was thicker on the bottom. And so now you come up here, you have 6 because of the indentation, so this becomes 6. And then he says, the emtsois, sheish, the emtsois, the middle floor was 6 because the lower floor was indented 1, so that gave you a 1 for the upper floor. V'roivet al gabav zayin, and on top of that there was like a ceiling that was 7. So how was it 7? Because on the top, on the next floor, the wall wasn't a straight wall. This wall went this way in like zigzag. So he says v'roivet al gabav zayin. So the top opening was Zion. Shenama Yitzia Tartaina V'Gaima. He brings a pasuk. V'Kain Hayu Asholish Yitziyim Makifin V'Bayis Misholish L'Chaysav. Now this system of the floors with the indentation and everything went around the whole the tzafon, the maitiv, and the darim. Went around the 3 sides. Like I showed you that other picture here, the way they showed the boxes. V'chein soviv v'kaiso ha'ulam mumata ad l'mayla kach hayu amma achas cholak v'roivet sholish amas. That's okay. And again, v'amma cholak v'roivet sholish amas ad l'mayla. It went the same system, that there was empty space and there was a little partition like with an extension, and then it went up and up. V'nimtza harayvdim mukafim l'kasolim. That the extensions were around around the floors. Reichev kol reivet ad sholish amas ad l'mayla. That means each open space was sholish amas till above. Ubein kol reivet v'reivet amma. There was between each, there was an amma. That was the space where the indentation that gave space to make the next wall. V'reivet elyon hoya reichvay arba amas. Now, kol ilu hamakaimis. Let's learn one more. Just understand. Kol ilu hamakaimis. All these spaces hapenuyim, which were empty, shebein aksalim, which were empty between the 2 walls, the wall of the Seiviv and the wall of the actual Heichel. So hey nikroim toyim. Toyim means like closets or offices. Nimtzu ha toyim ha makafel lemigdash. So the total of the offices that were around, that went around the Migdash, Chamisha min atzafon, there was 5 on the tzafon, Chamisha min adarim, Ushreisha min amayrav. V'sholish the yutes, hayu, the yuta gabi yuta, they were built 3 3 porches, like one on top of the other. Nimsu tezvav toim bedarim. וחמישה על גביו, וחמישה על גביהם, וכן בצופן, 15, ושמונה תויים היה במיירב, שמונה תויים היה במיירב, שלושה על גבי שלושה, ושניים על גביהם, בדיוק האחס, סך הכל למד חס תויים. Now, let's go back over here to this picture over here. The picture that I showed before. Okay. What time would be this? This is what he's talking about, what we're learning now. Over here, you had 3 floors. Each floor had an extension, and remember, you had over here 5. It doesn't really show you clearly the 5, because the chayda, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's a 5th one over here that doesn't show you clear. So you have these 5 rooms, like or toyim, or so you have 15 over here. Over here you have just 3 and 3 and 2, and again here you have 5, and 5 is 15. So 15 and 15 and 33 and 36 and 2 is 38. Now he says, Gimel Psachim, Hayu L'chol Echad Ve'echad Min HaToyim. Each room, or each closet, whatever you want to call it, had 3 doors to it. Now why does it need 3 doors? So he says, Echad L'Tor HaYamin, one to the right side, let's say over here. Let's say this is a Tor. So you had a door over here, and a door over here, and then you had a door on, in order to get up to the next floor. So he says, Echad, Gimel Psachim, Hayu L'chol Echad Ve'echad Min HaToyim, Echad L'Tor Min HaYamin, Ve'echad L'Tor Min HaSmol, Ve'echad L'Tor Shal Gabo, one to get up to the next floor. U'Bekeren Mizrachas Tzefainis, B'Tor She'B'Dyuta HaEmtzayis, that means on the east Suffolk. East Suffolk means over here. I'm sorry, over here. This is Mizrach. So Suffolk Mizrach means over here. Ubekeren Mizrachas Sefainis, B'tei Shebedyuta Hamtzayis, by the middle opening over there of the room is Hayu Chamisha Psachim. Over there were 5 doors. Achas L'Tor Miyamin, Ve'achas L'Tor Me'asmol, one Ve'echad L'Mesiba, and one went to the Mesiba. That was a door to get out here. The Mesiba is to this path. So you had a door on this side in order to get to the Mesiba. Ve'echad L'Tor Sheyesh Bo HaPishpush. Pishpush was the small door we learned yesterday, that there was a small opening. Pishpush, a cotton, we had a small door. Ve'echad L'Heichel, and one was in order to get into the Heichel. In other words, on the inside, to get into the Heichel. So you had another door. So you had 5 doors on the opening of this corner of the northwest, of the northeast corner. You had 5 doors. Okay.